welcome to a new vlog. It is currently Wednesday, March 5th. It's almost noon, if not, yeah, no, not quite noon. I'm hoping to get quite a bit done in this vlog in the next couple of days. I really have a lot of work to do that I have been not able to get to yet. It's time to lock in for what I want to get done this month. So just to briefly catch you up since the last vlog, I have finished the beta reading that I was doing for my critique partner. So I did get the feedback to her a couple days ago. Worked on editing the last vlog, got it up, all of that. I've been doing some reading. It's been really nice. And for those of you who might be new here, just to give you a little bit of a rundown of what I'm working on, by the way, I'm Saoirse. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm a fantasy romance writer and aspiring indie author, and I am currently, I'm outlining for book 2 of my Project Canopies series, and then book 1, which is in its 3rd draft, book 1. I've now gotten back all of the beta reader feedback, I'm pretty sure. I need to double check that one of my friends finished. I think she finished filling out a little form that I had created for her. So I'm going to go through that and look and see if she finished. I think she did, but anyways, everybody has finished the book and I think I have feedback from everyone. So those are where my 2 kind of current projects are. And the goal for this next few weeks or so is to finish the outline for book 2 so that I can solidify and finalize my plans for revising book 1. So what I want, all the changes that I want to make for draft 4. I think having a solid outline for book 2 will help make sure that any little, anything that I want to thread through all the way from the beginning is in book 1, things that I might want to have in book 1 to set up for book 2, make sure that all of that is in there. So I think if I have a solid outline for book 2, it'll help me revise book 1. We're gonna focus on the outline first, and then I'm gonna create a plan for revisions. I have been going through some of the beta reader feedback already because I do have a call coming up with one of my critique partners tomorrow, actually. And I wanted to make sure I went through all of her feedback one more time to make sure that I had any questions that I wanted to maybe follow up on with her, or there's some other questions that I wanted to ask her based on some other people's feedback, kind of things that I have maybe gotten feedback on and I'm like, yes, I do need to fix that. I do need to do something there. And I have an idea for it, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I think I should need to check with someone who's read the book if they also agree that that would be a good solution. So really looking forward to chatting with my critique partner. We're gonna be chatting about both of our books because we exchanged books. And then my other critique partner and I also exchanged, and we're beta reading for each other. So at some point next week, I think we're gonna meet up and discuss our feedback. So it's very, very exciting. So that's where everything is at, and those are my kind of shorter term goals for the month. I forgot to mention, I have outlined to chapter 10, though we do need to go back and rework some things because I already noticed an issue and I had started going back through to fix it, but I don't think I finished fixing it. So I need to kind of take another pass at those first 10 chapters in the outline, and then obviously I need to continue with it. And we haven't even outlined the middle portion of the book, so Act 2 is going to be obviously I think more difficult to outline, so it may take a while, but I'm hoping that I can get the outline done in the next couple of days, and then I can put together a plan for revision, and then I can get started with revisions. And then as I'm maybe gotten quite a bit done in terms of draft 4 for book 1, then I'll be able to start adding in some time to work on book 2, hopefully. Anyways, my battery is about to die, so I'm gonna take that as a sign to shut up, but I'm gonna go change the battery and we're gonna get into some outlining. Okay, So I have successfully outlined a few chapters. Let me get here. Okay, I've outlined up to chapter 15. One of the chapters, like 14, I have a sentence. So, I'm not sure. I'll probably need to come back and maybe flesh that out later, but you know, that's okay. I think that's part of a first draft, is having some scenes that just aren't quite fleshed out. And even in draft 3 of book 1, I still have a scene that is like a couple paragraphs, like a whole chapter, I think. That's a couple paragraphs because I didn't quite know what I wanted to do with it, but I knew that I needed something there. And now I do know what I want to do with it, but haven't gotten around to it yet, so that'll, but you know, like the ideas come in later sometimes, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm into Act 2 now, and this is where I'm noticing that the Saves the Cat story structure might not entirely work here. So yeah, I don't know that I will necessarily be trying to follow the exact beat structure for Act 2, just because like the B story beat, for example, I don't know if that really works for, I don't know that it fits a sequel super well, because like it's supposed to be introducing like B story characters and all this stuff, but like all of the characters have already been introduced and I'm not introducing like a whole new cast of characters here. So yeah, it's there's gonna obviously, like the B story is not just about characters, it's also could be like other elements of the story as well, but there's a little bit of that, but it's like, I don't know, it's not hitting that beat how Saves the Cat writes a novel, like how it lays that out. And yeah, and then I need to figure out, I think I'm basically at the fun and games section. I don't know. I don't know what goes here. Like I do, like some of it. So I think that's just the thing, is kind of writing out maybe the parts that I know and then trying to fill in the blanks later. I'm gonna do another sprint. I did 30 minutes and I'm gonna do another 30-minute sprint and just see how much of the fun and games I can get sorted out. After that, I think I'm going to take a break and I'm gonna read, and then I will probably try to do another couple of sprints maybe. We'll see how it's going, but it would be great if I could get through the fun and games section. I also, you know what would probably help? Sorry, I'm going off the off on a little tangent. I feel like it would help if I knew what the midpoint was. So I think just going back through, I might also have to start working from the end backwards as well. So we'll have to see. We'll just, you know what, we're just gonna see. This is, you know, I'm just still trying to figure out my outlining process. So I'm just gonna plot out what I know and try and fill in the gaps from there. But I think it would help if I had my midpoint. I do know how the book ends, but I think I need my midpoint as like a nice anchor. So we'll see what happens. I'll update you guys soon. Quite a bit of time on my outline today. It's 2:42. I've gotten pretty much up to chapter 28. However, there's a few chapters that Well, there's just one chapter that's not filled out. The fun and games section is so hard, I feel, to outline. I think this is something that I'm gonna keep it pretty sparse. I did that with book one as well, and it leaves me room to add in things later to help address issues as I find them when I'm writing and then in future drafts. So I filled out most of what I want in there. There's a couple more things to add, I think, but I'm not, they're like I have such a short scene idea for my two main characters that I don't even know if it will end up needing to be in the book, but it's something that I just could picture them doing together and I want to add that in. Maybe that's it. I will just make a note here. Okay. So my next little issue, well, I think I already talked about this, is that I don't know what the midpoint is. I have an idea about what it could be, but I also feel like it needs to be tied to a bigger, like the bigger overall plot arc, and so I think as I'm talking, I'm getting ideas and having to type them out. So I may have a midpoint. There is a bit of information about kind of the overall plot that my characters do need to find out at some point. But the midpoint, okay. So this book describes the midpoint as being like either a false victory or a false defeat. It raises the stakes, which this idea would definitely raise the stakes. And I feel like it could be a false victory in that they now have this piece of information that would help them fix everything. But I feel like it could also be a false defeat because this information really kind of sets up how powerful the like people they're going against are, if that makes sense. So I could kind of swing it either way. And the other thing that this book says about the midpoint is that it is the A story and the B story intersecting. That's the part I don't know if that really works here because it is a sequel. I feel like the A and B story doesn't fit in with this story as much as, I mean, it probably does in some way, and I just might not be seeing it. I don't know. I think I'm gonna focus for now on getting a midpoint that raises the stakes. Another idea I'm having, hold on. Okay, I feel like maybe I do have the midpoint because this also needs to happen, I feel like, before Act 2 wraps up. And I feel like if I put enough into the fun and games section, this will be, I think I have it figured out. If it doesn't end up working, you know what? We can always go in a different direction. That's what this whole process is for. And I'm very, very excited for this. This is gonna be, I think this is gonna be good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it here for the day. It is now almost 3, it's like 2:50. I'm going to call it and come back to this tomorrow. I'm really excited though. I feel like I got a lot done, and the fun and games section, I do feel like it's okay to leave room to add things, especially as I'm getting into drafting. You know, let my inner pantser out for a little bit to come up with some fun things that I think of later. I also today came up with the weirdest thing that I'm like, Either people are gonna think this is so funny, or they're gonna be like, this is the stupidest, cheesiest thing ever. Why would you put this in here? I'm so excited to get into book 2. Like, I cannot wait. I'm gonna go read for a little bit and just chill. Maybe knit as well. I'm gonna like prop up. I'm gonna go get my little e-reader stand that I have and put my Kobo on that and just knit while I read, I think, for the rest of the day. I'll maybe try to get some b-roll here and there, but I will definitely be checking in with you tomorrow as we continue our outlining. Hello. Okay, it is almost noon, March 6th. It is Thursday. In about an hour, I have my call with one of my critique partners, and I'm going to be chatting with them about my feedback on their book and then their feedback on my book, just to catch you up. I don't think I've done any more outlining since I checked in with you guys last time, but I have been thinking about my midpoint. And I don't know if what I kind of was thinking yesterday makes sense, but then I kind of came up with something else that I already knew I needed to work in, but I kind of forgot about it. And I think it would raise the stakes a lot. I think what I'm going to do today for outlining is work backwards. So I'm going to list out everything, the characters at the end of the book, like what do they know, what has happened, and kind of work back from there to see all of the different threads that I need to be weaving through. Hello. Oh my goodness. It's 1:48, you can see that, and it's March 10th. It's Monday. I'm sorry I didn't get more b-roll. I didn't think I was struggling to get back into my outline. I kind of had hit a wall with it, and I didn't work on it for the past few days, and I've been just reading a ton and just, I got chills. Oh, I just finished my outline though for book 2. There's still, okay. Let me preface this by saying that I know when I get into drafting it, I'm going to definitely be making some changes, definitely adding some things in, fleshing more things out, but I have every beat that I wanted plotted out. I have 50 chapters. It's probably gonna be more than that. It's probably gonna end up being more chapters than that. This second book is a beast. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot that needs to happen. But all of the important bits are plotted out. And I didn't think I was gonna finish this today. I thought I was gonna have to, force myself to do a couple sprints and then call it a day, but somehow that's why I didn't get more footage, because I forgot, because I just locked in and got it all plotted out. Okay, so then tomorrow, I'm gonna take the rest of the day. It's 2 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and relax for the rest of the day, maybe read a book, maybe just chill, maybe get some knitting in, maybe watch some videos. I don't know. Just do whatever I feel like. Maybe play Sims. I don't know. And then tomorrow, my plan is to, now that book 2 is outlined, tomorrow is feedback time. It's time to go through my feedback, start going through. And this is where I'm starting, is I'm going to go through, so I have basically feedback and comments from 6 people. I'm gonna go person by person, and for each comment, I mean, obviously that some of the comments are like, oh, I loved this, or, you know, things like that, where people are just vibing with the story. But for all of the comments that are actually like actionable pieces of feedback that I can take, I will either, depending if it's like a quick fix or not, like if someone pointed out like a very small like inconsistency, like maybe I, you know, I don't know, like referred to a character as the wrong name or something like that, right? I can go and quickly fix that. So I'll do that and just do that in draft 3, like in my Scrivener document for draft 3. And then for the bigger feedback that I've gotten, I'm going to note it down. I'm going to kind of like start keeping a list of all the different things that I got feedback on and like how many people gave feedback on that specific thing, and then for each of those things determining what I want to do about it. Like, do I want to leave it because maybe the feedback, like maybe I determine that the feedback is something I don't want to take, or if it's feedback that I do agree that I need to do something with, like what, like coming up with a plan for that, like what I'm going to do. I'm gonna get a list of all of the things that I'm gonna do, kind of make like a to-do list of all of the edits that I need to make, and then I'm gonna make them. So I think that's the plan. I feel like that's the most organized way for me to tackle these edits. I also have a list of things that I need to change as well to set up for book 2, so I will be adding those in as well. I'm gonna go for the rest of the day. I'm just gonna go relax. I'm gonna just digest and process. Just, I was not expecting to finish this outline today, so. Okay, I will be back tomorrow. Tuesday, March 11th. It's 11:27. So I still need to like shower and everything today, but I thought before lunch I'll do a 30-minute sprint and go through comments from, I'm gonna start with the comments from one of my critique partners, go through, I've read through some of them already. I was kind of reading through as she was leaving them for a bit there because I couldn't help myself. I'm just going to, like I talked about yesterday, I'm gonna go through and I'm going to just fix small things that I agree need fixing, and then for the bigger things, just jotting them down. I will probably open up like another ellipsis document and just sort of take notes in there. And as I'm going through the comments for, like, again, for each specific person that read for me, and then like for the bigger things I'll kind of make like a heading for each thing and then kind of like put in underneath what the feedback was, and that way if like there's multiple people giving me feedback, like similar feedback on the same thing, I can kind of organize it that way and keep track, and help me also like visually see like who, also like how many people were giving feedback on that particular thing. Also, I think I'm having allergies. I'm like really sniffly, so apologies if I miss editing out a few of my sniffles and coughs. But let's go ahead and get into this. I think, is it a perfect system? Maybe not, but I think at least let's just get started with it. When I find, like if someone points out a typo, I'm gonna go ahead and fix it just cause. But let's get back into what I'm doing. So far, nothing actionable. I've been literally staring at this for like 2 seconds though, so. No wait, I have found something, okay. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about like small changes. They're not line edits necessarily, but like for example, if there's confusion about what's being referred to, like I just found a comment where my critique partner thought I was referring to something that's happening later, like in the next few days, instead of what the characters were doing. And so I'm like, I could definitely maybe make that more clear. But it's one of those things where if I can't really figure out something right off the bat, I might leave it alone just because I haven't line edited. And if I line edit, it might just get better anyways, if that makes sense. So. I have started my feedback documents, and basically the way that I am doing it is I have like, just for example, maybe I can pop in some screenshots, but like for the first thing I have in here is that it just kind of, I'm stating the problem and I'm making a note of like what I think will probably fix it, and then just like a little bit of context for the person who gave me the feedback and specifically kind of what their feedback was. So for example, the first one is that it isn't clear that 2 of my characters are biologically sisters. I know, I know that I can very easily fix this because I have a missing scene where this sister, my main character's sister, gets introduced properly. I'm missing that scene. It was not in this draft. I took it out because I didn't like how I had done it, and I forgot to replace it with anything. And then it's just a little like underneath that, basically just saying like, okay, my critique partner was confused on if this character is my main character's friend or a sister, and then later was also wondering if maybe they are like saying that they're sisters because they're the same type of fae. I know, for example, this piece of feedback is something that I got from a couple different people because again, I was missing a full scene. So that's, you know, I kind of expected to get this feedback, honestly. Actually, I think I didn't because I forgot that I had taken out the scene. So, but when I saw that feedback starting to come in, I was like, oh, that makes sense. So probably everybody's confused on this. So as I go through the rest of my beta reader feedback, I will be adding names to this and kind of, if there's anything particular about their feedback that they gave, kind of noting down what the feedback was, just so I have it kind of all organized in the same spot. So my goal is to get through all of my critique partners' comments today, and then go through, they gave me a kind of a write-up, and just go through that again. And I'll also have actually notes that I took while her and I were meeting and discussing our feedback, so I will also add that to this document specifically. But I also have in this document, I now have as well just a general feedback section. The other ones I'm kind of keeping track about like where specifically they are in the manuscript, so I can go back through and fix those later, but also just like the general feedback that's like bigger, like just in general, it's not tied to a specific chapter or a specific paragraph or anything like that. But for example, the way that my world works is that it is like the real world, so you'd have like Seattle, for example, but like here and there are these little areas where really only the fae can like enter or like know that it exists, and then there's also portals. So that's general feedback that my critique partner gave me was just wanting to know more about how that all works, because it's shown in the book but not explained a ton and not shown a ton. So there's definitely improvement that I can make to that, and that's more of a general thing where it doesn't need to be in any particular one chapter, I think, as long as it's included somewhere. This is already something that I think I have an idea for how I can give a little bit more information about how that works in this world. I'm kind of noting that down as well, like what my potential fixes could be. So anyways, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I'm gonna go get some food, and I will come back to this and keep on working. So it's really cold in my room right now. It is, oh, it's 2:34. I just hopped off. I was on a Discord call for a little bit, just like yapping with people. And then we started sprinting, but a lot of people kind of dipped out. And so I think I'm just going to sprint on my own, or not really even sprint. I'm just gonna kind of keep working, but I think I'm gonna take a break and try and finish the book that I was reading, because I'm almost done and I kind of just want to like get it finished this afternoon. I'm really enjoying it, and I've been looking forward to reading it like all day. Like I did not want to go to bed yesterday. I wanted to keep reading, but I was also really tired, so I made myself put the book down. So I'm thinking I might get nice and cozy. I might make myself like some tea or coffee. I am kind of feeling like coffee would be kind of nice, not gonna lie. So I might make myself something like that and just kind of sit and read until I'm done with the book, and then I might come back to going through my feedback from my critique partner. I've switched to, so okay, also update on this. I'm kind of switching from writing down like specific things in my ellipsis document that I started and just putting it directly into my draft. I think it's going to be easier to keep track of it. So I'm just like adding annotations to my draft in Scrivener for like the smaller things, and then as I like go through that draft and start making those changes, I'll like have notes there already, because I was starting to realize I'm like, this is gonna be kind of hard to like go back and like connect to exactly where like each person was leaving these specific comments on things that they're confused on, or like things that they're wanting more information on, or just whatever it is, right? And then I think I'm gonna save this ellipsis document for the general feedback that isn't tied to any one specific chapter, or if it's like a specific scene that like as a whole I need to rewrite, which so far I know of 3 scenes, sorry, there's 3 scenes I have to add, and then there's 1 I need to rewrite so far, that I know of, just based on the general feedback I've been getting. But yeah, I think doing the things that are more specific to like dialogue, like specific bits of dialogue or specific sentences where like maybe like, for example, like there's some dialogue that I wrote that like didn't come across in the right way, just based on the comments like that I've gotten. There's like a couple of pieces of dialogue where like they weren't taken in a positive way, even though the person was saying what they were saying, or what I was meaning for them to say was a positive thing. Like it wasn't taken that way. And so I like obviously need to reword that. Things like that, where it's like, it's tied to a very specific thing, I'm just gonna put in the actual draft. And then the general stuff that's bigger picture, I will just put in this ellipsis document. I feel like I'm over explaining it. I feel like you probably get what I'm saying, hopefully. So yeah, I'm gonna go get some coffee, and then I'm just gonna continue to like be a couch potato today, and at some point I will get back to this maybe, but I want to say I'm almost halfway through the feedback, so I do want to finish it today, like for this one set of feedback, because I just feel like I need to be making more progress on this, and then maybe tomorrow I can do another set. All right, it is almost 8 o'clock. I just finished going through my critique partner's feedback. So I had already read through all of her comments, but at this time was me going through and kind of just actually making notes of everything. And so I got through all of that, and then I read through her. She did a little write-up for me with like general feedback, and so I just also went through that and added it to kind of the master doc that I'm keeping of all of the feedback that I need to do, or of all the general feedback that I need to keep track of. So my goal for tomorrow is to go through my other critique partner's feedback. I think I can do that later in the evening and then go through her. She also wrote up a little page for me on, again, general feedback, and I'm hoping I can get through that tomorrow because on Thursday I'm going to be meeting with her to go over our feedback for each other. And so I want to have gone through it again just to make sure that if I have questions that I can. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did meet with my other critique partner. I think I was talking about that at the very beginning of this vlog. I did meet with her already, and we went through our feedback for each other, and that went really well. So, and then on Friday, I'm gonna go through one of my beta readers' feedback, and depending on how long that takes, then I will also do maybe another set, because some people left more comments than other people, so it's gonna take me different lengths of time to get through all of the feedback. So I might be able on Friday to get through a couple different people's feedback, and then maybe also through the weekend I will continue that. So I don't know if I'm gonna vlog tomorrow just because I am busy during the day, but we'll see what happens. And I think I'm just gonna keep checking in with you here and there for this vlog until I've gone through all the feedback, and kind of so I can give kind of my final thoughts on my little system that I'm using and if I think it's helpful or not. So yeah, but I might not do as many check-ins, and I might not do as many or as much b-roll just because this, I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to stop fighting the chatty vlogs because that's just, I don't know, it's just what happens. So anyways, now that it is almost 8, so I'm gonna go kind of start getting ready for bed. I'm gonna shower, wash my hair, all that good stuff, and then I am gonna read. I'm gonna read, I think, Neon Gods. We did, I think, officially decide for the book club that we are doing Neon Gods. We did a little poll, left it up for 24 hours, and I think Neon Gods won. So I'm going to start my reread of that tonight and just see if I rated it 5 stars when I read it first. So we'll see if that still stands. But anyways, I'm gonna go do that now. So I will see you maybe tomorrow. Hello. It is Wednesday. What time? I don't know. It is 4:14. I am repping Sleep Token today because I think tomorrow they're releasing new music. I don't know for sure. No one knows for sure. Only time will tell. Okay. If you don't know, Sleep Token is an amazing band, and you should check them out if you don't already know who they are. They may or may not be kind of the inspo behind Project Canopies. Okay. So it's Wednesday. It is 4:14. There we go. And I just got back maybe like 45 minutes ago or so. I was out shopping with my friend. I did go thrifting again. It's downstairs. I did get a mint green sweatshirt that is super cute, and it is like the perfect shade match to these shoes that I have, that are like sneakers, and I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be so cute, just like me with my matching sweatshirt and sneakers. I love. But I did also go to the bookstore. I took some books and some tarot decks and oracle decks that I did not want anymore. I took them to Half Price Books, which is a used bookstore. I don't know if Half Price Books is something that is all over the States or if it's just a Pacific Northwest thing. But yeah, just a used bookstore. Anyways, and I sold my books there, and that felt really good. I cleared out some shelves, which was really, really nice, especially because I keep buying books. But listen, I was talking with, I think it was Tia about this, and it's like, I'm not spending money this year on really anything else that's not a necessity, like books and yarn, and that is it. And even with my yarn, I'm trying not to buy much. So really, you know, buying a couple of books here and there is really kind of the only thing that I've been spending my money on, and I think that's a good thing to spend money on. So anyways, I was at the bookstore. It's the second time that I've been to Half Price in the last couple of weeks, and so I did get a couple of books, and I just thought I would share. But I also did buy some books from Barnes & Noble, and there is a book that is from a local bookstore that I bought because I saw it and I was like, I want to buy something to support the local bookstore, and this is beautiful and I want to read it anyways, so perfect. But I just thought, let's do a little book haul, shall we? Well, no, I'm not going to justify it. It's okay to buy books. Yeah. And it's also okay to not buy books and to use your library and all of that. So really quickly, this is a book that I've read before, and I did not have my own copy of it. I was borrowing my friend's, and before that I think I had gotten it from the library or something, and it is really, really helpful if you have a menstrual cycle. So it's In the Flow by Alyssa Vitti. And yeah, I just needed this to just have for reference, because I kept like, I'm like reading through my friend's copy, and I kept like having to grab it to like look things up because I'm trying to make, you know, some health changes and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I need to just have my own copy of this, otherwise I'm literally never gonna give my friend's copy back to her, and she needs it too. So and then while I was at Barnes & Noble, I also wanted to pick up Deep End by Ali Hazelwood because I really want to read this, and yeah, and these edges are so gorgeous. I'm obsessed, and I cannot wait. Can't wait to read this. I have only read Bride. I haven't read any of her other books, so we'll see how this goes. But I loved Bride. Bride was 5 stars, and I highly recommend it if you know, enjoy fantasy romance. That Bride is definitely more like, is more so a romance with fantasy elements to it, but I still really, really enjoyed it. And then they were having a buy one get one half off, so I got Happy Place by Emily Henry, and yeah, I have not read any Emily Henry books. I do own a copy of Funny Story. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. Don't come for me. I will. But I also wanted to pick this up because this was another book that we were potentially going to read for book club, and I figured I'll either get it for book club, or if we don't end up reading it for book club, that's fine too. I'm going to read it anyways. And then this was the other one that I got for the buy one get one half off. This is Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I hope I'm pronouncing her first name right. But this is a dark romance. So check your trigger warnings if you're interested. It's, yeah, I don't know. I just kept saying it, and I just decided I wanted to definitely buy it because I could get it through my library, but I was like, ooh, if it comes in and I'm not in the mood for it, I'm like worried I'm not gonna be able to give it like a fair shot. So I wanted to have it so I can pick it up when I know I'm in the right mood for a dark romance and like, yeah. Okay. And then these are the 3 books that I purchased from Half Price. I did pick up Bird by Bird. This is a writing craft book that I've heard a lot of really good things about. It is by Anne Lamott. Again, hopefully I'm saying all these names right. But yeah, this one seems to be, at least from what I gather, this is more about like not necessarily writing craft advice, like show, don't tell, but more so like writing process advice. Like if that, I don't know if that makes sense. Like maybe more about like writing mindset than writing craft, like concrete craft advice, but I could be wrong, or it could be a mix of both. But anyways, I'm really excited to read this. I'm probably going to go very slowly through it because I feel I just read nonfiction so slowly. Like it takes me forever, and that's why I like to buy these books so that I can just take my time with them. Whenever I get them from the library, I never finish them in time. So, and yeah, if I can get them used, I just feel like, you know, then it's like, it's okay if the advice doesn't work for me because I didn't spend like a ton on it. I think this one was $7. I did take off the sticker because I wanted to make sure it came off good before I bought any more books. And then today I actually picked up, this is The Female Brain. It's by Luann Brizendine. I am probably saying that wrong. Apologies. But this book is actually one that the In the Flow book references. My friend was telling me about it and she was really enjoying it, and so I decided to go ahead and pick it up, and this one was also $7. And then I have 2 more books. The last one I got from Half Price Books was today as well, and do not judge me. I bought it used specifically because it matches the set that I have, and I also obviously wasn't going to buy it new because we don't support this author anymore. But I did pick up the first Harry Potter book because, hear me out, I have all of the original ones with this cover and like these like the hardbacks with this cover, except for at one point, I don't know when this happened, I don't know how it happened, but I think I must have loaned somebody the first book and I never got it back. So I was just missing the first one. And at one point I was like, man, I really want to reread this Harry Potter book. And I was like bugging my mom. I was like, can you please take me to the bookstore? I need to get the first Harry Potter book because I want to reread it and I don't know what happened to our copy. And my sister and my brother-in-law were over at that point, and this was like before I could drive, and so they were like, oh, we'll just take you to Barnes & Noble. So they just ran me over to Barnes & Noble and we got the paperback, and so I had the first book, but it didn't match the set that I had, and that has been bothering me for years. But I was like, maybe that other book will turn up somewhere somehow. But it never did. And so today I saw this copy and it's honestly probably in better condition than the one that I had. So yeah. So I can have a completed set. I don't know if that's weird. I don't know if anyone else does stuff like that, but it was just bothering me seeing it on my bookshelves like that. And I was like, I don't even know if they make this edition anymore, and I wasn't gonna purchase it because you know we don't want money going to her. So anyways, the last book that I picked up was from one of my local bookstores, and this is a book that I've been wanting to read for a while because I don't know, I think I've only heard good things about it, and yeah, I've just been really wanting to read it, and I don't know, I just saw this edition on the bookshelves. It's Legends and Latte. Just one latte. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. And look at the cover. Like, it's so beautiful. I wasn't like the biggest fan of the original cover Like, I just don't really like the cartoony covers. I don't know. They're better than the original of this is better than like these types of covers. I don't like these. I'm so sorry. I'll still buy them, but I don't like them. But yeah, I like this type of cover better. And I'm sorry, this is so random, but I've been seeing like the UK edition of some books, and their covers are so much prettier than ours. That's so random, but it's because they're more like this, I feel, where they're like, they don't have like people on them. They just have like, they're more abstract and they're just so beautiful. And I'm like, why do we not have that here? Like, I would so much rather something like this than, again, like, than these. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is beautiful, but I would have rather have more of a like, something like this. Does anyone else agree? I don't know. But yeah, this one is beautiful. It's also got some detailed edges, and it has like artwork on the inside. So it's so stinking pretty. And like back here. So anyways, that is my little book haul. So I don't know if I always show all the books that I buy when I buy them, but I just thought I would share these ones. Hello. Okay, it is Monday, March 17th. It's almost 2 o'clock. I just wanted to give a quick update. I only have a few more comments to go through before I'm done looking through all of my beta reader feedback that I got on draft 3 of Project Canopies. So I'm like, I want to say like halfway through going through feedback for the last of my beta readers, and I don't think it's going to take very long. So I was figuring, let's go ahead and get it done now. So I could wrap this vlog up because I want to start a new vlog for when we start draft 4. Just kind of make it nice and organized. But yeah, let's go ahead and get that done now. I honestly don't think it's gonna take very long. I'm gonna do a 30-minute sprint and just see how far I get through, but I genuinely don't think there's that many comments left. So let's just get it done. Let's get it done, and then I can say that I'm done with it and we can wrap up this vlog, and I can hopefully tomorrow get started on draft 4. I'm so excited. And now that I've been through all the feedback, I feel like I can just start revisions. Like, I don't think I need to do any more kind of organization and planning. I think I can just dive in. And I think that also means I can start drafting book 2 because my outline is done. I know what I need to change for book 1. So I feel like I can start working on both. Okay, I'm back on track. And there's really not that many comments left to go through. I feel like it'll be pretty quick. So let's start a timer. So like I said, there wasn't that many comments left to go through. So I'm done. And yeah, this is great. My kind of initial, like, now that I've been through everybody's comments, like, one of the cool things about getting this beta read is just like the different reactions that everybody had, and like there was a lot of stuff that like everyone kind of pointed out but there was also so many things that like only one person would catch. And I think that that's like a really good thing and a reason why you should get more beta readers. Because like I think if you get too many beta readers, you're probably just going to end up confusing yourself with the amount of feedback. But I think when you get too few beta readers, like there's just not everybody is going to catch all of the different things that you might want caught in your book before you go into revision or into the next set of revisions. So I don't know. I think for me, 6 was a great number, and I think I'm thinking like for my next round of beta readers, like maybe after I finish draft 4, I might try and get, I've talked about this before, like I might have a couple people reread the book and then have a couple new beta readers. But yeah, I think when I go to have like another, like for book 2, for example, when I need like that first round of beta reading, I think I would go for like 6 people again. I think that was a really good number. Felt like it wasn't too much feedback, but it was enough where I felt like I was really getting everything. Like the last set of feedback that I was going through was my best friend, and she has got an eye for detail, I swear, because she was like the only person that realized that there were a couple of like timeline things that didn't line up. I'm just really grateful that her mind caught that, because like I just wasn't like, I was like, I don't know. Because like I think at one point I said that one of my characters had moved in with other characters like a couple years ago, but it was more than a couple. It was way more than a couple. And so I was like, oh, I have to fix this, because he moved in with them like at least 5 years ago, from like the present day of the book. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, and then there was like a flashback where they were referencing like another flashback that happened like I think it was like, no, it was like a year prior, and it should have been a year prior, but they said like, oh, 2 years ago when we were here, but it would have been just like past year. So anyways, it's not important, but you know, just like things like that I don't know, it's just like only one person caught that. And then there's other things that like the other beta readers caught that like other people didn't. So it's just like, I felt like basically what I'm trying to say is it felt like a very well-rounded feedback, because everybody had something kind of unique that they were able to give feedback on, if that makes any sense at all. And yeah, so now I can start revisions. I can start draft 4. I can start drafting my first draft for book 2. This is very, very exciting. And so I think that's where I'm gonna go ahead and leave the vlog. I hope that it wasn't too crazy. I think I was struggling to get B-roll just because, again, not a lot of typing, and I kind of kept forgetting that I was vlogging, so I didn't remember to get a lot of like B-roll of me doing other things to kind of break up the vlog a little bit. But anyways, I would love to hear how your projects are going, and if you are enjoying these videos, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Leave me a cloud emoji. It's like the first thing that I just looked down and saw. So leave me a little cloud emoji if you made it this far in the video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you back here hopefully in another vlog very, very soon, and we'll get into draft 4. Okay. Until then though, I hope you have an amazing time writing, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!